Namaste. This is the second video of lesson 7, and in this video we'll be looking at the Kaya Kriya. So the Kaya Kriya is a yoga therapy, yoga chikitsa, and there are many terms for body in Sanskrit, and Kaya refers to the physical body. Before we get into the practice itself, putting the practice in context, you've been slowly building up to being able to perform this practice because we've been working in the up to now, and we will continue on complete breathing, Mahat Yoga Pranayama, which is an essential part of the Kaya Kriya and is one of the reasons for it being so effective as a practice, as a body rejuvenation, as a release of different tensions and even traumas that are stored in your cells on the physical level and on the emotional level and in the mind as well. The Mahat Yoga Pranayama will be used, so 3 sections, and then the complete utilization of the lower, mid, and upper chest. And so that will be reflected in the practice of the Kaya Kriya. The first part of this practice will be dealing with the lower parts, so the waist downwards, and will be associated with lower chest breathing, Idam Pranayama. The second part of this practice will be dealing with the moving of the arms, the middle part of your body, and the Madhyam Pranayama, and the mid-chest breathing. And finally, the third part to the practice will be looking at the clavicular bones upwards, so your neck and your head area, and you're going to rotate your head from side to side and utilizing the Adhyam Pranayama, the clavicular breathing. The fourth part combines all 3, as the Mahat Yoga Pranayama does, combine all 3 sections of your lungs, and this will be also done using the legs, the arms, and the head in sequence as you're breathing in, and then legs, arms, and head in sequence as you're breathing out. So the first part will be done with the feet. So I'm going to be obviously laying on my back for this practice, but I just wanted to show, so pardon me pointing my feet towards you, but just to see what it would look like from this point of view. So you're going to keep your feet apart enough so that when you turn your feet in, as you're breathing in, the toes will touch on the ground, and as you're breathing out, the little toes will be touching the ground. And that will be the movement: breathing in, create tension; breathing out, release that tension. When you get to the second part, you're laying on the ground and you will roll your arms out as you breathe in and release the tension as you breathe out. The third part will be with your head, so as you breathe in, you turn your head to the right. Again, I will be doing this on my back, and as you breathe out, you turn to the left. And the third part combines all 3 movements, where you're breathing in 2 counts, breathing in 2 counts, and then breathing in. And then breathe out, the feet first, 2 counts, 3, 4 with the arms, 5, 6 with the head. So I just want to review that quickly before we do 3 rounds of the lower, mid, upper, and complete. So the 4 parts of the Kaya Kriya. The interesting part is we're using tension to release tension, which is kind of the idea of fighting fire with fire. And it's a brilliant way of addressing things that are hard to tackle. And instead of talking our way through, we just use our body and use the tension creating in the body associated with breath. And you create tension as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you release the air and you release the tension, and you release the physical tension that you've created through this practice. But it's a gentle tension, so it shouldn't be harmful in any way. So let's do 3 rounds of each, which will be a total of 12 rounds of breathing. I'm going to point my head towards the camera so you'll get a different perspective of this practice. So you can start the practice either in the Shavasana, where your feet are together, especially the heels, and you bring the arms close to the side. Or you can start the practice in Nritya Asana, where it's a little bit more relaxed. When you're ready to start the practice, you will place the arms to the sides. The feet, again, try to find how far apart should your heels be, so that when you turn your toes in, they are meeting at the ground. And as you breathe out, the little toes will touch the ground. So we'll do 3 rounds of this. Breathe out. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a gentle reminder that when you're moving the legs, you're associating with the Adam Pranayama, the lower chest breathing, abdominal breathing. When that section or that part is done, you bring the feet back together. The heels are connected again to close that energy circuit. And then we're moving on to the second part, which is the associated with the Madam Pranayama. So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, and you keep your hands on the ground. 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The shoulders and the elbows leave the ground, that's okay as long as you keep your hands. 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this section was done with the mid-chest breathing. The third section is going to be done with the Adyam Pranayama. And then as we breathe in, we're going to turn to the right. As we breathe out, turn to the left. So bring the feet are still together, the arms are pulled back. And then we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring your head back to the center position. You probably notice as I'm breathing in or out at the third count, my head should be pointing upwards, or my nose should be pointing upwards. So you have symmetry in terms of speed and range of motion. The fourth part to the Kriya will be done splitting the 6 count. So we've been using a Sukha Pranayama, which is basically, in this case, 6 in, 6 out. Some could even use a Savitri rhythm, which is a 6 by 3, 6 by 3. So breathing in 6, holding in 3 by starting with swelling the breath. Breathe out 6, hold out 3. But most commonly, and especially to start, we would start with the Sukha rhythm of 6 by 6. And the nice thing about 6 is that you can evenly split it to multiple of 3, which is going to be 2 for the legs, 2 for the arms, and 2 for the head. So we would start by keeping the feet apart as we did before. And we're going to have to move a little bit more quickly to be able to get all 3 in the 6 count. So as we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, feet, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would conclude 3 rounds of each of the 4 parts of the Kaya Kriya. Now, if you are relaxed and if you finish a relaxation or a practice where you've been laying on your back, you don't just jump up. There's a sequence in which you can safely go from that laying on your back position to laying on the front and sitting up and then standing. And you don't want to just jump out of your session. You want to be able to transition out in a peaceful way. So one way to do this is you bring your left arm up, you bend your right knee, and you push onto your right foot. And here you're in the Dakshina Asana. If you want to pause for a few seconds here, you can. And then you just turn over. I'm trying to stay at the center of the camera. And then you can lay on your stomach, either in the Makara Asana, or just putting your chin to the ground and hand and feet to the side. And then you can place your hands below your shoulders, breathing in, pushing up, and then breathe out. You're going to stretch your arms, your back, around your back, and come back up into the Vajrasana. And then you can stay there for a few rounds of breath, and then stand up and finish your practice. I hope this has been useful.